Honor and recognition have come to the Chickasaw member, citizen, and elder, Gene Underwood. But to him, his family, faith, and traditions are the greatest rewards. Gene was born full-blood Chickasaw on April 5, 1934, near Tishomingo. He and his sisters and brothers were raised by their parents, Joe and Mary Underwood, upon a strong foundation of faith and family. Being outdoors, hunting, fishing, or camping is still Gene's love. His youth was spent in those very activities on Spring Creek and along the Washita River.
He was born south of Tishomingo, and then you cross the Washita Bridge, then it'd be on the west side of the highway. Mom and Dad had a place there, I don't know how many acres, a few acres, and that's where he was born.
We lived on the Washita River, and what I remember is fishing out of the river, and running up and down the river all day, half the night.
He told me that I needed to get out, out of the house and learn how to shoot a gun, or, because they were always out fishing or hunting, and he's real comical. Fun to be around.
Gene attended Russett High School. He was vice president of his senior class, and later he graduated from Haskell Institute in Lawrence, Kansas. Gene's love of softball has truly led him to a life of service to Indian people.
Well, I started playing when I was about 13 years old. Gene, he's the one that showed me how to practice and throwing a knuckleball and stuff like that, He's the one that taught me how to do that. And from then on, I kind of just had to practice at it in order to keep throwing consistent strikes.
Gene, he's always been around through our softball teams just to, I guess just to be there and be supportive through watching us all.
Gene married Juanita, and they have 3 children, Dennis, Janae, and Joanna. Today, Gene and Juanita are proud grandparents with 3 grandchildren. Gene is the chairman of the annual Underwood Hamilton Family Reunion. It is held each summer and is one of the country's largest Chickasaw gatherings of its type. One of Gene's favorite times was joining his son Dennis and his brothers Ted and Chet in building an authentic 18th century southeastern dugout canoe.
My sister suggested building a dugout canoe. Then I had mentioned it to my dad and to my uncles. Dad was supportive of it, and I guess he was probably the one that pushed us to work on a canoe and try it and see what we could do.
They traveled to the Chickasaw homeland for research, then burned out and carved a working canoe. The project was written about in several publications, like the nation's 2004 Progress Report. He served as a Chickasaw tribal legislator from 1983 through 1992. His greatest reward, he says, was getting to help his fellow Chickasaws. Gene worked at the Oklahoma School for the Deaf in Sulphur, where he retired.
He just was really easy to get along with, and everybody liked him, and basically everybody hated to see him leave whenever he retired. Everybody liked working with Gene. He was real level-headed. If it was white, it was white. If it was black, it was black. He just didn't do anything to draw any attention to himself, other than just do a good job.
Gene is a man of quiet strength and leadership. He is known among his own and others as one who will help, a person one seeks out for wisdom and advice. He shares generously and responds to his people's need for direction and encouragement. Gene Underwood is a Chickasaw elder who represents the highest ideals of the Chickasaw heritage and tradition.